Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Welcome to the 17th online meeting of Speakers Community Toastmaster Club. I'm pleased to be your Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting. In the online meeting environment, there are few instructions that we follow. I request you rename yourselves. All the Toastmasters can prefix TM to your name and guests can prefix guest. I'm also request you all the speakers and role holders to prefix their role to their name so that it's easy to identify them. I give you 10 seconds for this activity.
Rajiv called me just now that there is a Wi-Fi problem, so he will not be able to share his screen.
No.
Rajiv called just now.
Aarti, you have to put this in chat, please.
Okay.
Continue, Monica.
Okay. All the speakers are requested to do a quick audio and video check. I would request. Yes, you are audible and video visible also. I would request you do not type in chat box when the speaker is speaking as it disturbs the speaker. You can use the private chat to provide feedback. You are all requested to keep your audio on mute in case you aren't speaking. Please refrain from unnecessary moments or shipping on drinks if your video is on. Please turn off the video in case you need to do so. As said in our last meeting, we couldn't enjoy our samosas and chai as our meetings in online mode. So you can turn off your camera and you can enjoy your chai and samosas. So do not click on the share screen unless your speech or role required to do so. You can display hi-fi or namaste when taking over or leaving from the room. You can connect with TechMaster by any technical gauge. TechMaster for the today's meeting is Toastmaster Monica. That is me. If you are a speaker, then please ensure you ping the timer or confirm that the same is visible at all times. This meeting is being recorded. In case you have any reservation, please let us know. You can network during the break and after the meeting. Please stay tuned till the end of the meeting because we have networking session after the end of the meeting. So let me share the mission of our club. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and powerful growth. So with this, I would like to welcome the presiding officer, that is the Toastmaster Kalpana, and I now hand over the session to the presiding officer of our club. Over to Toastmaster Kalpana.
Thank you so much, Monica. Yes, chai and samosas are something we are definitely going to miss. Good evening, fellow Toastmaster and guests who are all present today. You have taken time out from your valuable schedule to be here today. The only thing we cannot recycle is time. To be in time is the utmost important thing anybody can actually do. But as we slowly and steadily deprecate the value of the time that is given to us, we realize that we miss out and lose out a lot in our life. Toastmasters teaches us one more thing, time management. And good time management is a good skill of a good leader. So don't waste time. There is no point in wasting life. Do something important and ensure that you reach your dreams and goals by managing your time. Time is life. That's what I would like to share with you as a presiding officer today. Before I hand it over to Timur, I would like to thank our Toastmaster Monica and Zoom Master Monica, who does her work with complete elan. And I really enjoy the back support that she gives us so that we all are visible and audible for a very smooth functioning of a meeting. And now, who do we have as team mode? None other than Nikita. Always smiling, always up to the task, always ready to join us for any last minute hitches. Her dependability, her responsibility, her vivaciousness, her presence of mind, and the way she articulates herself is something that we all should be looking forward to. Kindly applaud and welcome our team Toastmaster Nikita for today's session. And I also declare the meeting 70 of Speakers Community Toastmasters Club open. Zoom Master, highlight Toastmaster Nikita, please.
Thank you, Kalpana, for a great introduction. Yes, thank you so much. And for today, we have Kalpana, who would be giving the education session. So Kalpana, according to the agenda, your education session presides. Would you like to start with that first?
Yes. Would you be calling your tag team later on in that case? I don't
Yes.
mind being the grammarian. So in case I'm just putting down in chat the word that I've decided, because we don't have a grammarian today. So I'll also take up the role of grammarian. Yes, we can start with the educative session. Okay.
Okay. Do you need a timer?
The grammarian role, but if you are prepared for it, then you can go ahead.
Beg your pardon?
Actually, I was doing the grammarian role today, but
Yeah.
if you have come up with a word of the day, then
Who
we
is
can
the
have it.
grammarian today, Kunal?
Kunal is the grammarian.
Yeah, it's me.
Oh, Kunal, you are. I didn't see it. Please go ahead. I'll remove. Please add whatever you have to add.
Sure,
Fine.
sure.
And I didn't see your this. I just saw read it as Kunal.
It's all right. Yeah.
All right, everyone. So I am. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Yes. Whenever it comes to writing a speech, all of us are nervous. All of us have our heads, our gray cells scratched up as we wonder how to write, what to write, how to convey our thoughts, what should be the message, and the message that I have in mind, is it being properly conveyed? Those are the thoughts that go through our mind when we actually look out for writing a speech. But do you know, we have all began to write by the age of 7. Surprised? How many of you have been actually given essays? How many of you? Please raise your hands. Can you raise your hands? All of us, we have written lines on cow, my home, my school, my mother, my best friend. So writing is nothing new to us. Monica, you'll need to highlight me, please. So the writing has never been something that is new to us. Here we go. So shall we begin? Does anybody, if you do not have, I'm giving you 30 seconds to fetch a notebook or a paper and a pen very quickly. Let's begin from the scratch because you can quickly write down a few lines on cow in a piece of paper. 10 lines. 10 lines. Very quickly. When you're done, give me thumbs up signs. Are you guys done? That shouldn't be a difficult task. We all have always written something or the other on a cow. Please give me a heads up if you all have finished it. Toastmaster Aarti has finished it. You can write it down in the chat too. Kunal, Nikita, Sherin, Smita, all the guests are also requested to participate. Please feel free. All done? All right. Now, who will read it out to me? Let me share my screen and tell you what I have written. All those who have written these lines can start tick marking it. Cow as a domestic animal. Raise your hands. I can't make it interactive otherwise.
Toastmaster Nikita.
Yeah. Toastmaster Nikita, you have written. What have you written?
No, I've written a different set of lines. I can tell you. I wrote cow gives us milk. Cows come in many shapes and sizes. They form the cattle industry in India. India is a large cow export market. Cows are also worshipped in India. Swiss cows make great cheese. Cheese variety and flavors depend on the age and the breed of the cow. Cow is now a topic of national interest in India. Mob lynchings have become common with cow vigilance. This is what I came up with.
Fantastic. But since we were 7-year-olds, this was what I was looking at. But keep those aside. Yes. Who else can give me their 10 lines? Who else? One more person. Very quick. Very quickly. Sherin, can you give me some 10 lines? Rajiv, Aarti, can you? Monica, can you give me what 10 lines you have written? There is no right and wrong in this. Look at my lines, look at Nikita's lines. There is no right and wrong when you're writing a speech. They are your thoughts, they are your ideas. Remember that. It's your baby. Monica, have you written 10 lines? Give me at least 2 lines that you might have written that is different or similar to what I have written or what Nikita has spoken about.
Sorry, but I think Toastmaster Aarti want to say something.
Okay, Toastmaster Aarti, what would you like to say? All right, I'm moving forward because this will be very time consuming as nobody wants to actually be participative. Now, the lines that you have written, kindly arrange them. Arrange the lines that you have written so that it makes sense. When I told you to write 10 lines on a cow, we all wrote down something that came first to our mind. How will you segregate it? How will you arrange it? Can anyone do that? Start doing it. Now, for example, this is my write-up. We always go wrong when it comes to the flow. It is not the ideas, it's the flow. How can I arrange this? Can someone help me with it? Can someone tell me where I have mixed up line in such a way that I can actually sort them out in segments? Is my
So
opening line correct?
yes, Kalpana. So then if you are saying about milk, all the sentences regarding milk should come together.
Together, absolutely. So cow is a domestic animal. Maybe I can put the physical features of the cow also immediately with cow as a domestic animal. Correct? Can I do that?
Yeah.
Then bring all the milk and the milk products that a cow gives us together. Can we do that? And in the end, we can have that they are found in villages. They're also used as pet animals. Remember, this is a 7-year-old writing it. Have you guys understood what I'm trying to convey over here? We all had 10 random lines and we quickly wrote it down. When we are writing a speech, that is how we write a speech. When it comes to rearranging it, slot them out separately, because you will find that there are a bunch of ideas that actually fit together as you're writing, and that becomes your opening. Now, cow is a domestic animal. It is, I can put this, cows are now found in villages. Cows live in cow sheds. Cow is a very useful domestic animal, and those kind of, because when you have one opening line, you can then make at least 2 or 3 opening lines to make it the opening of a speech. Then we come down to what is important in a speech. That is the cow, why is it important, and how it gives us a source of food that we all consume. And that is the reason why we are having cows in our households, are also, as Nikita has put it, we are having it roaring as a business. It conglomerates and cooperative societies have formed. I would now request Nikita to arrange her 10 lines and put it in chat box. Anyone who wants to arrange their lines that they have written can put it in chat box.
Yeah.
Or you can put it as you have written it down, slot it out. The first 2-3 lines are generally the opening, then it comes down to body, and then it comes down to close. Nikita, I would really request you to put the 10 lines in the chat, arrange it. So let us see the flow. That is how a flow is built.
Done, Kalpana, I've put it.
Done. All right, thank you. So let us have Nikita's flow. As for me, how I would have given the flow to this is, cow is a domestic animal. Cow eats grass. Cow has 4 legs, 2 horns, and a tail. Cow lives in a cow shed. That would be my opening lines. And then cow gives us milk. From milk, we get ghee, butter, buttermilk, rice pudding, ice cream, etc. Cows are currently found in villages. Cows are also pet animals to many. I have written it down, but I have now elaborated it to fit it and make it a 3-paragraph speech with combining points as opening, body, and close. Nikita, yours, have you put it up in chat? Yes. Let us see how Nikita has arranged her points. Nikita, have you?
Yes,
Nikita
Kalpana, it's
has.
already.
Yes, cheese varieties and flavor even depend on age and breed of the cow. Swiss cows make great cheese. They come from cattle industry in India. All right, now I would like to draw your attention here before I go to objectives over here. Nikita has given us in her 10 lines 2 to 3 different approaches to her speech on cow. Can anyone spot the 2-3 different approaches or ideas that she has woven into her 10 lines of the speech of the cow? Can anyone do it? Anybody? Come on, Kunal. Please participate, otherwise it becomes boring. Come on. Anyone, anyone. Now,
I feel in the beginning we can mention the physical features of cow. as to-
is that you, Kunal?
yeah, I see.
Please switch on your video as you talk. No, I'm talking about Nikita's. Mine was very elementary. We are having another speech on cow, and Nikita has given us 10 lines on cow, but she has, if you guys keenly look at the speech that is given there, she has very smartly given us 2-3 ideas that we can actually develop if we want to into a speech. Can any Toastmaster here spot those ideas? If you guys can spot those ideas, nothing like it. Or shall I spot it out to you, or Nikita, for that matter? Will you be able to tell what are the ideas you think you can develop upon?
I would like to take a guess.
Yes. All right,
So,
Kunal.
yeah, I feel in the beginning we can put the benefits or the advantages that we get from cows, like India is a large export. No, not this one, but
Yes. So now hold your horses. First thing we can do when we are writing an essay or a speech on cow, export business of dairy products in India. Got it? So while we are talking, we need to simply zero in on keywords. This keywords then becomes your point to develop a speech upon. So that is one of the point, export. What can be the second point which we can develop from the 10 lines given to us by Nikita? Sherin, Imran?
The cattle industry.
The cattle industry, absolutely wonderful. So when you are deciding upon the cattle industry, what will it entail? Now, Kunal's point will entail something called research, right? Corporate research, profits and loss, future of the industry. Do you get this? You got it? From basic 10 lines, how we can develop a speech of our choice that is caliber and meat in it. All right. So now he has said about the corporate. So when he's going to write about the corporates, he can even compare the dairy products industry, that of India, with other countries like Australia, like Switzerland, the cheese, and how the other products are now being packaged and marketed. You said about the cattle industry. So Sherin, how would you like to take forward the cattle industry in a speech? How
So
will you like to take it forward? Have
you
an
can-
opening body. Now you have the thread of your speech. Yes, Sherin.
yeah, so maybe you can start with how it was in the past, how it is now.
Exactly. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. And where the industry is going. Now, Sherin, with your idea, first starting at the past, as to how maybe from Stone Age, Iron Age, we don't know from what age, we decided to have cows or cattle for that matter as our pets, or we started to live with them. From the sheep or the buffaloes, the cows, the goat, how come only cow's milk has come and reached to the factories where the cows are actually being bred as Jersey cows? Right? From that to there to the future of cattle, you can actually develop your speech based on emotional sides of cattle through the centuries, with how the cattle are being treated currently in a computer vacuum based milking system. Is it right or wrong? So you can take your speech in two ways: either how cattle has been a boon to us, or why are cattle being treated, or why is there cruelty to animals that support us. Got it? So if you can take it in two different directions, or you can have two speeches out of it, deciding on what is the tone of the speech that you want to speak on or speak about. Got it? So do you realize the very first thing when you want to write a speech is just become a 7 or 8-year-old. Write down the very basic thoughts that comes to your mind. As soon as you get the basic thoughts, you know you can start developing it the way you want it. You can develop it as export, cruelty to animals, cattle as they have supported us throughout. Got it? Now, there is one more point from Nikita's speech which I can still take upon. Though it may not be a good point in Toastmasters because we do avoid discussion on that particular point, but I think everybody is aware of it, right? It is of national discussion, correct? So maybe if you want to write an article, remember, if you want to write an article, we can begin from 10 most basic lines to not just write a speech, but to also write an article. Has everyone understood? All right. Now we have already got 3 topics from just simple 10 lines of an essay called The Cow. All right. Let us come down to the next slide. Opening, body and close will be discussed by and by, but let us first see what should be your objective. Now you know out of the 10 lines, suddenly you are having an idea to present it. But you have to set the tone of your speech. If you don't set the tone of your speech, you might find it very difficult to present it. To set the tone, do you want it to be informative? That's the first one. And which speech title do you think will go into informative? Do you think Kunal's speech will fall into information? If Kunal takes up the point of the conglomerate, of the budding industry, of the cooperative milk society that has been formed, right? Then it becomes an informative speech. Appeal. Would you like to appeal? If you want to appeal, if I recall with Sharon, we discussed 2 points. The one was either how the cattle industry has boomed or the plight of the cattle industry or the cruelty to the cattle industry. So do you want that the cow should not suffer? Do you think that the cow should still live in the conditions that they were living in prehistoric days? Then you will be highlighting the plight or the cruelty to cows with your supporting data statistics in the body of your speech. In the body of your speech. All right. And then end it with the appeal. That is your message. As for the information, remember each and every speech needs to have a message. As for the information, give the information and conclude with where India stands, where a cooperative milk society or milk products or dairy products are concerned in comparison or in competition with the world, and how we can go forward will be the best takeaway. All right. Now we come down to the third point, that is humorous. Can anyone tell me how to make a speech on cow humorous? Anybody? Let me take your imagination to a time when every household used to have a cow shed in their backyards. And what was the work or the responsibilities that your parents instilled in you when you had cows in your cow shed? Anybody? All right, I'll be coming to the humorous one. All right. Aarti, would you like to share something? Aarti seems to have switched on the camera. Would you like to share something humorous regarding this?
you said that we will have to imagine. So I am imagining that there is a cow shed in our home. And while playing, we were going there and hiding behind that cow and doing some mischief with that cow. And once it kicked me, just like that.
I'm so glad it did not take a bio break at that time. Yes.
Nowadays, their bio break is also very much important and very much helpful to us.
Correct. So when we are writing a humorous speech on cow, we can perhaps write, if you come to North India, you find them strewn all over on the roads like vehicles itself. Because the owners of the cows let them loose in the evenings for them also to have a walk in a park. They don't have a park, so they walk on roads. Based on that, based on how your mother considers a glass of milk to be the most important dietary plan in your life, can also be developed as a humorous speech. How a glass of milk has actually, absorbed Bonvita, Boost, Horlicks, even rose essences and vanilla essences and ice creams, and which part or which creation of milk do you dig can be converted into a humorous speech, beginning from cow, oh cow, or you can begin from milk, the Amul advertisement, and write down a completely humorous speech on cow. Now, thought-provoking. From what speech 10 lines that Nikita has given us, Nikita has told us it has become a national debate. How can we write something thought-provoking where we avoid religion as per the Toastmasters mission? Why, where, what, how we can, perhaps with the appeal that we have had, and how a cow is treated, why just cow should be given a treatment that is so special, and all the other animals, do they or don't they deserve it? Once you write something on cruelty of animal, come down to it, and yes, how will you add a twist to the tale? Can anybody give me a twist to the tale if I'm making a thought-provoking speech on dairy products? What is the latest diet fad? Everybody is turning into a vegetarian, non-vegetarian, and
Vegan.
vegan. Absolutely. So from cow, we can simply go off to the soya milk and make your audience think about switching from cow milk to soya milk. And you can add humor even in a thought-provoking speech saying, I hope my mother can also turn into a small soya milk fan. That is the first way I can get rid of the glass of milk. Do. Has everyone understood? Set the tone of your speech. Now we come down to the next point. That is, keep your audience in mind. We all always make a mistake of not keeping our audience in mind. So what happens if you go to a meeting that is being, say perhaps held by a scientist or maybe an astronaut, and he comes and tells us this physical or physics equations. He tells us this chemical combinations of the medicines, and we sit there and do what? We don't want to listen to words we do not understand. We want to listen to words that gives us some sort of an understanding as to what is it that you want to convey. Remember, we speak to express, not to impress. Our thoughts, our messages should be conveyed to the audience so that they have a takeaway. If their language or understanding of the language is at that level, you bring yourself down to that level. Never expect the audience to rise to that level. So keep it in mind. Who are you delivering it to? Are you delivering it to industrialist? Let us take the Kunal's first point of writing about the dairy industry. Then, of course, are you delivering it to accountants? Of course, profit, loss, balance sheet, use the words. Are you delivering it to me? Hey, come and tell me. If you drink milk, your company will increase. You can buy the shares of the company. And then you will have a great investment and you will also be rich. Give me that. Because I'm a layman. I don't want to know what does an accountant do. I don't want to know how the business manager is managing his exports. That's why I will look at Hamara Bajaj. I'm not going to look into how the scooter was made. Hey, I don't want it. I want my freedom when I ride the scooty as a woman. Sell it to me that way. Sell your speech as per who your audience is. Not as per what you want to say, but as per what they want to listen. So why are you delivering it? Why are you delivering it? Does it have a purpose? Is it thought-provoking? Is it appealing? Is it for just for laughs? Is it informative? Who is your audience? Are they business conglomerates? Are they laymen? Are they engineers? Are they businessmen from other countries who would like to have a tie-up with your business? Or are they just Toastmaster audience? Accordingly, any speech needs to be crafted. If you keep these two objectives in mind, your speech never fails. Now we come down to Project Cow. These were the questions we already discussed. Thank you, Nikita, for a wonderful 10 lines, which allowed me to skip from going from standard 1 to standard 10 speech. So do you want to speak about the evolution of dairy industry, information about dairy products, profit-making dairy products industry, plight of the cows with modern technology, appeal to people to go vegan, or write about your life with mother and her obsession with you drinking a glass of milk every day, humor. So you see, from just one particular topic or one particular word or one particular 10 lines or 5 lines, we can actually develop 5 different kinds of speeches. Opening. I'm coming down to opening, story or a quote. Now we are going to Toastmasterify it. All right. What do we need in a Toastmaster? Because believe me, when we are giving a speech, we are giving it, if you're giving it in an office, the genre of the speech completely changes into a presentation. Here we give speech not just to pass a message, but also we can, so that we can articulate well, we can overcome our shyness, we can reach out to audience, we can develop a stage presence, we can develop a narration style, we can develop a style that is appreciated and applauded. So this is where we can experiment, unlike speeches in an office scenario, where it is going to be mostly cut and dry. So do understand the differences when it comes to giving a speech or presentations. So here, story or a quote, make it attention grabbing. Ensure that they are hooked with you with the very first line they have opened. Begin with a thought-provoking quote or story. Personal stories will generate more interest. Not just generate more interest. I think personal stories have a tendency to have an emotion in the voice, a joy in the voice, a fun in the voice, because we are connecting to the story, because it is our story. So as far as possible, dig into your experiences to pull out an experience, usko tod marod ke, see that you twist it and turn it to adjust it to the topic that you are going to choose to give a speech. All right, I have given some opening lines. And if someone can add to it, Nikita, Sharon, Kunal. So here it goes. For me, frothy, fresh glass of milk stood in front of me. Can you all read it, guys?
Yes.
calcium-rich glass of white liquid stood in front of me as my iron-rich, iron-cast mother glared at me to finish every drop of it. There is a similar here between calcium and iron, you know, though of course iron is mother and calcium is something that she is ensuring that we get it from our glass of milk. And milk, 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 mother of curd, paneer, ghee, butter, yogurt, ice cream, pudding, rice pudding, solvent of Bournvita, Horlicks, rose essence, dip of biscuits stood regally in front of me. What do you think of it? These can be your opening lines, depending on what kind of a speech you want to write. Humorous speech, your mother forcing down, you have got it. You want to talk about calcium and iron, but even want a personal touch of a story while you develop this story of into how it developed into industry. You can ask, my mother glared at me. I wondered who got the cattle in the home first. And I decided to research. I was surprised to see that Verghese Kurian was the first person who brought or came to Gujarat in Anand and started a cooperative milk society, today popularly known as Amul. And then you can go on into how the milk industry developed in India. But how have you started? You've started it with a story of your own, a line of your own. Milk, 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 milk. As my mother ran behind me with a cup of milk, I thought, oh, milk, you're not just the mother. You're the mother of all these products. Humor. Think differently. Write differently. Any questions on opening lines and any inputs on opening lines? Nikita, Shirin, Aarti, Kunal, how would you like to have your openings? You all can read this also. So the body. Once you write about Verghese Kurian, the second point, now always make points in information. First about the points that we Indians have developed. The industry that we have developed. How did we develop it? Who are our competitors? How can we take it forward? Ending it with the very first funny beginning that you might have had. Mummy's glass of milk is a world famous glass of milk. Do you understand how you can develop the body? Toastmasters? Any questions on this? As it is, Nikita herself, if she wants to develop her own 10 lines, she can develop it with any of the starting or the opening to grab the attention of the audience. Come down to how it is developed as an industry. This glass of milk of mine is being now sold in Tetra packs. Always connect to the audience, because the audience is going to have a visual of a Tetra pack and drinking milk. And oh my God, I even get buttermilk on the go while I'm running to catch a train. Right? So what happens over here when you use your day-to-day connect with the milk and put that in your speech, the audience begins to connect with you because it is who they are. Thought-provoking. Have you seen a cow lying on the street? Have you seen a cart being pulled by the cows or the buffaloes? Do you think technology can replace the cows? Thought-provoking. Do you think cruelty is allowed? Then we come down to the appeal. Appeal for them to turn to vegan. Maybe turning vegan can make. So find the supporting 2 points. Story of how you thought of becoming a vegan. The other day I went out with my friends and I, a fan of milk, was really taken down by my friends for being a fan of the milk, and they cited. And I realized as I Googled the cruelty of the animals. So what can be my glass of milk? And they told me, you can try the soya bean milk. Have you guys tried the soya bean milk? Do you know that too is available in Tetra Pak? Do we get all the vitamins that we are looking for in our glass of milk? Do we really need to torture the cows? You get it? So when you are making an appeal, look elsewhere. Find how you can turn this into an appeal. And humor. Yes, here we come down to humor, the last line. Despite all my efforts to move the cows, move means to move the cows from my backyard to avoid drinking a drop of the white liquid, the cows stayed put as bone strengthening pets to fill our pate or stomachs. So humor can be added, as my mother expected me to clean the cow shed because the person who tended to the cows was absent that day. How I slipped on cow dung and I measured the length of my body down on the floor. Got it? So humor as to how cows were first there as pets, how they were an indirect sense of torture to you, and you can complete it by saying, but when I completed the work and came back and a tall glass of milk or Horlicks or Bonvita or ice cream or rabdi or kheer stood in front of me, I forgot all my woes that I went through while I was tending to these cows. Any questions so far? I wanted all of you to write it down, but I can see that most of you guys are, except Nikita, Kunal, and Sharon. So otherwise, if you can write down 2 points each in humor, I'll give you some time. Can you write it down about the information? Just 2 points. Toastmaster Aarti now seems to be a bit enthusiastic. So, but here we are. There can be 2 paragraphs, which means 2 supporting stories. Do not go beyond 2 supporting stories because in Toastmasters, it is 5 to 7 minutes. That means 650 words maximum. Your research fund stories all comprises in these 2 paragraphs. You know what happens when we begin our research? We find that we have got 100 points. You know how Google is, right? Page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It goes on, and it actually gives you a headache. So what is it that we are supposed to do when we come down to that much or an overdose of information? Go to page, up to page 2 or 3. There might be repeated points. Pick up those repeated points and know that rest of the pages is just going to have the same thing told differently. Then pick up the 2 points that you feel is going to be an impactful point or points, and then develop those points. All right. Any questions so far? Hope I'm not boring you guys. No? Come on, I need some answers. Everybody is on mute.
No, certainly not.
Certainly not.
Yeah, we are just thinking as to how to process this very good information. So it requires time for brain also to keep pace with you.
All right, here goes. We are coming down to the closure. How do we close a speech? Generally, there is a tendency to, make the closing at least 5 lines or 6 lines or very, very huge. Don't. Keep your closing very simple. Let's see how we can keep it simple. It just comprises of 10 or 15%. There should not be any lengthy remarks. You can start off with a quote that you began on, or you can just have one definite, dynamic yet simple line. For example, if I am going to end this, I'm going to say my speech might be annoying or informative. I'll make it interesting enough for them to be glued good to my words. So how will I put it? I might have annoyed you or you might have found the information, but I'm glad that I got your attention for the 7 minutes of your time, because this is a training session. This is how I'll be completing my speech. Just one line. Got it? Or if there is a quote that you might have said somewhere while you were writing the speech, that quote might be the core of your speech. Pick up that core from between the speech, add it at the end and say, that's why, or here is why, here is what I think, this is what I thought, and that is why I stand in front of you, and this is why I'm speaking what I have to tell you. What happens? We wrap it up very neatly. There is a saying that when you are speaking, repeat, then repeat, then repeat. Repetition makes it firm in the mind of listeners. So if you have got a quote, if you have got something that is very inspiring, if you have got just one line to sum up the stories or the supporting statistics and data that you have written, kindly ensure that you quote it at the end to tell your audience, this is what I was talking about. This is what I want to convey. This is my message to all of you. So this is how the flow of a speech slowly culminates into an ending. Opening, make it witty, make it interesting. Lend me your ears, said Mark Anthony. Ensure that they listen to you, that they are hooked to your speech. That one line or two lines of opening. Then you come down to body. Why? Why did you think of it? What did you think when you decided to take this as a subject? What made you think out of the box for this particular topic? So if I just took cows, but where all I went into industrialization of it. I went into cruelty of animals. We went into humor side of it. We went into nationalistic issues of it. Can you see one simple cow? So when you let your thoughts wander to a 360 degrees, you will realize that there are a lot of information in one particular word called cow or milk. And then don't get lost. Nikita had 10 lines, but out of that, we segregated two main important points. So if you're writing about industrialization, please don't match in cruelty of animals. Stick to industrialization. That is where the khichdi happens, you know. That is where we are having too many ideas spoiling the broth, like the too many cooks spoil a broth. So if you're decided on industrialization of the dairy products, stick to it. If you're deciding on the cruelty to animals, stick to it. If you're deciding as the national issue, stick to it. Please do not start mixing up all the 3 points once you find that you have zeroed in on an idea from the 10 lines on simple cow or maybe any other topic you might have written. All right. Now basic tips. Now let us see what are the basic tips. We speak to express, not to impress. We all end up, you know, I have realized one thing. We all end up writing an article. Supposing if I'm writing about the information, I'm just making these numbers up. So they are not actual factual numbers. The industry of Amul is at least having a turnover of about 2 crores 50 lakh per annum. The industry has grown so wide that it is sending its products to almost all the world. It currently is in competition with the Swiss products as well as the Australian products, but it stands out for its unique taste, especially the ghee or the purified butter is now becoming The purified butter is now becoming a rage even among the Westerners. Now, when I'm writing this as information, I am not conversational. If you give me 10 points of information, I'll sleep. So how do you go? How do you say the same thing? You want an industry that is 2 crores 50 lakhs of turnover? Yes. That's what I'm talking about. When we talk about Amul, see, I'm making it a conversation. My points are turning into me talking to my audience. And let me tell you, Amul has made such progress, more than the progress that we make in our progress cards. So you're adding humor. Has made such progress that today it stands among the best industries. So now we are making this into a conversation. Always converse with your audience. Don't make it into an article. This much percentage of employment was generated by Amul. There is a decline right now in the share prices, but the share price market is still dropped. What do? We investors. That is how you make it into a conversation. Any questions on this? Use inclusive lines, make it conversational, and use simple words. This is the colorful language. That is the way we use it. And last, here is how you can improve on writing skills, or at least colorful or descriptive skills. Read something funny every day, read a story every day, read information every day, read memes every day. This will increase your capability as a writer. Here is what we do when we want to words to establish flow and how to write short sentences. Remember, long sentences, there is a tendency that you might forget what you have to speak. So short sentences will make you convey your thoughts or speak easily. Once you are in your comfort zone, the speech will flow. And these are the 8 excellent tips for speech writing, which I hope everybody looks into. Set your speech objectives, be clear. That is, don't mix up points. That's why I meant clarity. If you're writing about industry, industry. If you're writing about cattle industry, cattle industry. Cruelty to animals, cruelty to animals. Know your audience, know what you want your audience to take away. That message should be absolutely clear. Grab and hold the audience attention. Establish and support your key messages. Use visuals. Yes, use visuals. You can have a horn or a tail and swish, swoosh, swoosh. You can have it. You can just do anything to make it visually appealing. Like if you're saying a story and saying a story about kings, you can always have a knife to use it as a sword, right? Or you can just take up a kid's shield. Or if you're talking about Hanuman, you can take up the gada or the or his warrior instrument, and then you will find that you are bringing in visual appeal. So wrap it up nicely. Yes, here is your last point. Write, revise, revise, write, revise. Keep revising it, keep revising it, keep writing it till you know it is fit to be delivered as a speech to your audience. Any questions? Any questions?
No, Kalpana.
No?
I don't.
Okay. So I'll wrap it up and I now hand over the stage back to Toastmaster of the day, Nikita.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kalpana. Am I audible and visible to everyone?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. Now, to proceed with the session, I would first like to introduce the tag team for today. For the tag team, the first person that we have, who is the timer, is Toastmaster Rajiv. Toastmaster Rajiv, can you please introduce your role?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Can you please introduce your role and give the timing guidelines for the table topics and the prepared speech? No, there's no prepared speech for the table topics. Thank you.
Yeah, I want some favor from all of you because there are by issue, so I cannot share my screen. So I have connecting it through mobile.
Okay. So do you want us to let you share screen for your mobile, or do you want to put it in the chat box?
No, I have no idea to how to share the mobile screen.
Okay. So Toastmaster Raji, what you can do is you can put it in the chat box for the table topic session when 1 minute, 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes are over. So you can just put it in the chat box so the speaker can see it from the chat box.
Your voice is cutting.
Am I audible now? Can you hear me?
Your voice. Yeah.
Okay. You other members, can you hear me? Is it my
Yes,
Wi-Fi?
yes. We can hear
We
you,
can hear
Nikita.
you,
No
right? Okay.
problem.
So Rajiv, then I think it's your Wi-Fi.
Okay. Tell me.
I will share my screen, no problem. Make me co-host.
Okay.
Monica, can you make us host? Let her take over as timer today. You can
Yeah.
also read out the, the timer rules, Aarti.
Aarti, will you be able to take up?
No. Voice become cutting again and again. I cannot hear.
Rajiv, actually, we do need to move on. It's all right. Either
It's
Monica
okay.
or Aarti will take on the role of a timer today because
Yes, and even Sharon has volunteered, so don't worry, Rajiv. We have timers
yes.
backup. It's okay.
Fine. So could you ask someone to read out the?
Yeah. Aarti, are you taking up the role? Do you have your screen sharing rights now?
Yes, I have.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, I have. Wait a minute, it will take some time.
I don't think we want to grammarian while she just does her.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so next on the tag team, we have the grammarian, who's Toastmaster Kunal, who's been with us for quite a while now, and he's been very helpful as the VPE in scheduling all these sessions. Toastmaster Kunal, can we please have you on the spotlight and you can introduce your role and the word of the day and phrase of the day?
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. Am I clearly audible and visible? Thank you. Toastmasters, in a real world, someone correcting a grammar constantly can be a pain in the posterior. But in Toastmaster, it's actually a delight. So today, I chose to delight you all today. As a grammarian, my role is to note down the incorrect usage of grammar, as well as to appreciate you for the delightful usage. As the grammarian, my role also is to note down and enrich your vocabulary by telling you the word of the day and the phrase of the day. For today, the word of the day is trim, which means victory. And also the phrase of the day is an apple pie order, which means in a perfect order. We can use it in a sentence like, today, Toastmaster Kalpana taught us how to write a speech in an apple pie order. So that's been my summary of my role, and I'll give my report whenever called upon. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, grammarian Toastmaster Kunal. Next, we have the R counter, Toastmaster Imran, who has joined us now, and he's been really helpful in, his videos have also got a lot of views on YouTube now, so he's really trending. So can we have Toastmaster Imran on the spotlight?
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible and visible. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So good evening, everyone. The purpose of the R counter is to note words and sounds that are used as a crash or pause filler by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I will listen of words and keep account of inappropriate expressions such as well, so, and sounds like are. And I will also note a speaker repeats a word, a phrase, such as I, or this means. It is known as a double clutch. I will present my report when called upon during the meeting. Over to you, Mr. Patel.
Thank you so much, our counter Imran. And we're looking forward to you counting our hours, and I'm already conscious now. Can we have the timer now? If Toastmaster Aarti, if you're ready, we can have you as the timer.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, we can see your screens. Perfect. Can you introduce your role as a timer and also give the timing guidelines for the table topic session?
Yes, wait a minute. Table topic speeches shall be of 1 minute or 2 minutes. A contestant will be disqualified if the speech is less than 1 minute or more than 2 minutes and 30 seconds. The green signal will be displayed at 1 minute and remain displayed for 30 seconds. After, wait a minute. At 2 minutes, I will show red card, and after 2 and 30 seconds, if it exceeds, the speaker will be disqualified. So after 2 minutes, you have only 30 seconds of grace period. Thank you. Over.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Aarti. Now I think we can proceed with the table topic session. And the table topic master for you today is me, Toastmaster Nikita. And the goal of the table topics in any Toastmaster speech is to give an impromptu speech on any topic given by the table topic master. So during the session, I will be giving the volunteers one topic, and they will have to speak on it from 1 to 2 minutes. And as Aarti mentioned, the red card will be shown at 2 minutes, after which you'll be having a 30 seconds of a spare gap time. The purpose of a table topic speech is to enhance your presence of mind when you're given a topic for your impromptu speeches, to show your clarity of thought process, your ability to communicate and to present your ideas in a fast-paced, high-pressure environment. Also, to improve your impromptu speaking style and come up with good content with accuracy of thoughts. These are the goals of a table topic session. And with that, I would now like to ask if we have any volunteers here on board who would like to start off with the table topics. Any volunteers? Maybe I can ask Toastmaster Sharon. Sharon, would you like to volunteer?
Not good with it, but yeah.
No, of course, you're an experienced Toastmaster. You're good with it. Okay, so Toastmaster Sharon, are the timing cards visible to you?
Yes.
Yes. Can you see the transition? Toastmaster Aarti, can you transition your slides to so we can make sure it's working? Yes.
Yeah, I can.
Okay, perfect. So, Toastmaster Sharon, I have an interesting topic for you. So, Toastmaster Sharon, your topic for today is Namaste. Namaste, Toastmaster Sharon. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Nikita. Namaste. Namaste is the greeting that we do whenever we meet in India, which I'll explain how it's done. So what we do is we fold our hands and we bow a little, and that's how we do it. It is with respect that we bow a little to the other person, and even during and we do not do a handshake, but we do namaste, which was also very popular during the COVID time, because we were not transferring any germs or any viruses to the other person. And this was one of the popular things that was said, that if you are wanting to greet another person in the other countries as well, that you can give a elbow bump or a namaste to the other person. So that is how namaste goes in India. And with that, I will pass on my namaste to you, Toastmaster Nikita.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sharon. Namaste to you too. And now I see we have Toastmaster Amay as our next volunteer. Toastmaster Amay, can we see if you're audible and visible?
Yeah, I can see the green card now.
Perfect, perfect. Okay, perfect. And you're audible and visible to us. Okay,
Yeah.
so Toastmaster Amay, the topic for you I would like to choose now is okay, it's red versus blue. Red versus blue, Toastmaster Amay.
Okay. Thank you so much, Timot. And what comes to my mind when I say red is it is an indication of liveliness. Since our blood is also red, it is also an indication of liveliness in the sense that when we possess our anger, we tend to get red. Then uh, I also have some memories with red because I belong to Red House in the sports section. Then the color of the sky when it becomes red, it does give us some kind of nervousness. So all, let's say, the emotions of human can be conveyed using the red. And related to blue, blue is energetic. Blue is very much passionate, and our Indian cricket team color is blue. Even my institute where I work is having a blue color. So like the place where I work and the kind of energy possessed by Indian cricket team is, I feel I relate to. Then the what I get into my mind is the strength and the infiniteness of the cosmos, because the sky is blue and we simply cannot uh, we cannot say that this is the starting and the end point. So this infiniteness in the cosmos reminds us of the powerfulness of the color blue. And then the ocean is blue. The rivers sometimes appear to be a little bit blue. It reminds us of ocean life as well. So mostly it goes to the natural side, and redness goes to the human side. So now since red has appeared, so I have to stop here, and thank you so much. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amay. That was really nice. Now I would encourage the guests to participate. We have 3 guests in the meeting. Any guest would like to volunteer? Guest Malay, would you like to go for it? Malay, Smita, Rohini, any one of you?
I would like to participate.
Okay. Yes.
But I'm sorry, I cannot switch on my video.
No problem. We can hear you. That's fine. Can you see the timing cards?
Yeah, I can see the timing.
Okay, perfect. So, guest Smita, your topic for today is optimism. Optimism, guest Smita, over to you.
Thank you for this topic, and I can relate to this topic because myself is a very optimistic person, and I am mostly self-motivated, hopeful, and optimistic. And same energy I carry wherever I go. So I think the people around me also feels motivated and optimistic and hopeful. I think one really needs to be optimistic even in adverse situations. Because being optimistic gives you another road when you think something is not working out. I think that's it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, guest Smita. A huge round of applause for your first try here. That was amazing. Okay, guest Malay, would you like to give a try? Can you hear me?
Yeah, nothing wrong in giving a try.
Okay, perfect. I like your spirit. Okay, so for that spirit, yes, I would give you a good topic. Can you see the timing cards? Aarti, can you reset it to the white screen?
Just a moment, I'm not able to see as of now. Yeah, it's a white one.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah, now I
Oh.
can. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So, guest Malay, your topic for today is work-life balance a myth? Is work-life balance a myth, guest Malay?
It's an interesting and would like to share my views on this. Is I personally believe it's a myth, and my views on this is it's in a current scenario. Like it is up to an individual how he this part in his or her head, but work in life is, in my view, it's like the life is a very large space, and in that the work is one of the segment. So when I look at the life as a larger space, then possibly I should able to manage my work as well as the other stuff. And there is nothing called like a balance between life and the work. So when there is a subset, what is the kind of balance we are talking? We should look towards the life. We should decide about our life's goal, and we should make promises to achieve it. And for that, whatever needs to be done, needs to be done. So I think that's what I carry with myself. And whenever I read this title or this topic, then I keep life as a larger space, and then obviously work will fit in somewhere. That is what I believe, and I would like to live with that. So these are some of my thoughts on the work-life balance. Thank you for inviting me, and it is a nice experience.
Thank you so much, Malay. That was amazing as your first try, and I agree with you on what you say about work-life balance. Okay, do we have another guest? Would you like to participate? No, I think the guest is logged out, right? Okay. Okay, so back to the members. Now, are there any more members who would like to participate? Imran, would you like to give it a try? Toastmaster Imran?
Sure.
Okay, great. So Toastmaster Imran, your topic for today is infinity. Infinity, Toastmaster Imran.
Can you help me to explain this word meaning? Yes,
Infinity means there's no end.
there's no end. Yes.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
it's infinite. It never ends.
Thank you so much. In my opinion, our Toastmaster journey is an infinite journey. We all are here to learn, and this learning will never end. I can see, and I have many friends in my club. They are joining in Toastmaster more than 17, 18, 20 years. Why they are attending for this so many years? Because they are always passionate about learning, and the learning will never stop. It is infinite. We have our life is a journey of learning. We have to learn till we are going to die, because life will never stops teaching you. So you have to keep learning. So our Toastmaster journey is a journey infinite journey where we can learn. We can learn till our life. So I aim that our guests and everyone will join with us and start learning, and they can able to learn till their end of life. So that is my message for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Imran. That was a great participation. Since I guess we have no more volunteers, we can call the table topic session a close. Toastmaster Aarti, can we have the timing reports?
Yeah, sure. Toastmaster sharing took 1 minute and 30 seconds. Toastmaster Amey took 2 minutes. Guest Smita took 1 minute and 30 seconds. Guest Malay took 2 minutes. Toastmaster Imran took 1 minute and 40 seconds. All the participants are qualified for the voting.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Aarti. I would like to now, if Master, is it possible to launch the polls now?
Yes, sure.
Yes. Okay, so let's go for the polls.
Two more votes. Okay.
You can close.
Done.
Close.
Okay. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Monica. Now I would like to hand over the session to the general evaluator, Toastmaster Aarti, to conduct the evaluations.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nikita. That was a wonderful table topic session, and we enjoyed a lot. All the participants were really very good. And now, thank you. And good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. For the benefit of our members and guests, I am the general evaluator for today, and I conduct the evaluation of a portion of our meeting. I will be calling on a team to assist me with giving feedback to our speakers, and I will evaluate the entire meeting as well as at the end. Next, we'll hear from the grammarian who's been listening for good usages of our language as well as points for improvement. Over to you, grammarian Toastmaster Kunal.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Aarti. So to begin with the positives, I would like to mention the good usage of grammar and the vocabulary by our keynote speaker, Toastmaster Kalpana. So she used entails, which means to make something necessary. Secondly, the word was used plight, which means a difficult state or a situation. Then calibrated was used, which means to determine or mark the measurement of something. Then she used segregated, which means to separate things from the rest. Then she used inclusive, which means to include or containing everything. Then during the later part of her speech, she used Lend Me Your Ears by Mark Antony, which I personally really liked. And in terms of any correction, I don't see any correction. Just in the beginning, when Toastmaster Monica was starting the meeting, she fumbled a little while saying, while sipping your drinking, or, it should have been sipping your drinks. So that's the only thing. And the word of the day and phrase of the day was just used by me. So that's my summary on what you generally evaluate.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kunal. Now the R counter tracks the use of verbal pauses, ahs and ums, while we think of the next things to say. Our R counter for today is Toastmaster Imran. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Even me also include in this list using filler word. Like I use several times because I was struggling with connecting my speaking with my thoughts. So we have to be self-aware and we have to take a little pause so that we can remove this filler word. And also, I suggest everyone to watch their recording after this meeting, and you will able to find your filler word and you can work on it. So filler word used by Nikita, Sherin, Ame, Mita, Malay, Imran. Everyone uses, the same filler word, which is we are trying to connect our thoughts with our speaking. That's why we are using this. So, and Mita use also two crutch word, which is also and one short for this. That's the report from my side. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kunal. As there were no speeches today, so I will move on with my own general evaluation of the entire meeting. So it's time for my apple pie, right? Zoom Master, Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Monica started the meeting on time. Zoom Master normally is the person who does the work from background. Here, as Toastmaster Monica did both the roles, we have the chance to see her active participation as the staff. You started with a smile. One suggestion, you can introduce your presiding officer in a different way. In the next meeting, you can try on that. Otherwise, a great job done, Toastmaster Monica. Coming to the presiding officer, Toastmaster Kalpana. Yes, time management is really necessary. It would be great if we introduce our esteemed guests in the beginning. As William Arthur Ward famously said, feeling gratitude and not expressing it is like wrapping a present and not giving. But I would definitely wrap the present and give it to the Toastmaster Kalpana. Write it right. Thank you for such an interesting as well as engaging session. I am sure the information about how to write it right will help us a lot. Whenever there is an evaluation session, the time limit, always there is a constraint of time limit. So according to our agenda, there was a little bit of exceed. It was exceed in time, but otherwise it was really great. And coming to our TMOD, Toastmaster Nikita, and as well as she played the role of table topic master. Both the roles, you did it well. And it's a triumph of our table topic speakers also, who spoke so well and participated enthusiastically. Now, grammarian Toastmaster Kunal, you presented a crisp and quick report. You also mentioned good usage and what should be improved. You also mentioned the name who used the word and phrase of the day. Job well done. It's a suggestion to put word of the day and phrase of the day beforehand. A counter, I can make out how attentively you were listening, and you also know that what we as person, anyone, you included, that we have some ahs and ums. I have also that. So it's okay. But that was a wonderful report. And now, yes, last but not the least, it was an informative and helpful session for all of us. One thing I loved is I thoroughly enjoyed the entire meeting. Kudos to it. And I'm sure everyone present here also enjoyed the meeting a lot. The entire meeting was held smoothly. One or two glitches is okay. As timer, I have also taken it on the spot, so there was some glitches in my role also. Otherwise, it was a good session. We managed the entire meeting very well. With all the 2 sessions, we could not do that speeches, but it's okay. All the role players did a wonderful, fabulous job. Kudos for all the role players. That was a really wonderful meeting. And that's all from my side. Please welcome back our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Nikita.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Aarti, for your evaluation. I think we can hand over to the presiding officer, Toastmaster Kalpana, to conclude the session and also present the awards. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nikita. Thanks a lot. While I request Monica to set the polls for role players, as well as the other polls that have been overlooked, role player polls.
Yes.
Yeah. While that is happening, I would like to say hi to our guests. I see Malay over here. Good evening, Malay. Can I have you? Or, you can unmute yourself, and could you just tell us how you found the meeting, and what was it that actually made you feel that it was a wonderful meet?
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Kalpana. First of all, apology for joining this session a little late because of other engagement. However, the moment I stepped in, I could see a kind of comfort as of this meeting is happening with our team members, because incidentally, we just started our club, and today we had our second club meeting in the morning.
Okay.
And yeah, so I couldn't feel like I am an outsider to this, and I do not know the reason, and even I do not want to know, but this is what the feeling I had, and hence I shared with you and all.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it because I am playing a role of a presiding officer since last couple of meetings, so I am getting lesser opportunity, but somewhere I got an opportunity of a table topic and I just jumped in. So for a minute or so, I have taken your heads. So overall, I would say it was a nice experience, and thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming in and gracing our meeting. It was wonderful to have you here with us. Toastmaster Monica, also the role players of timer, our counter and grammarian poll needs to be launched. So kindly launch the third poll. All right. Smita, could you just unmute yourself? Hi, Smita.
Yeah, hi Kalpana.
Hi, Smita. Smita, how did you find this meeting? Did you like our meeting? What was the best feature of this meeting?
Yeah, it was very engaging and very informative. I was not expecting this much of engagement on a weekend, but yeah, I find it really interesting and thoroughly engaging and informative session for me.
Okay.
And thank you so much, Kalpana, for having me on this session.
Thank you that you checked my status and decided to join us. I would actually tell you that we at Toastmasters really ensure that your goals of becoming a public speaker, a leader, a confident leader, in fact, is we can say we sharpen it, we bring it forward. We have mentors who help you as you join us, and we help you to improvise and be better professionally as well as personally. It's an international forum actually. It was started in 1924. So it is across the globe or the world.
Yeah, I checked the website.
You checked the
Sure.
website. So I would suggest join us because we have meetings every Saturday and everyone has certain things to learn and there is always a takeaway from each meeting. So you can always get in touch with our VPM Aarti. You're of course a guest member list. We have added you. So welcome anytime and enjoy your meetings and do join us as a member.
Yeah, sure. I will.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kalpana.
Thank you. And now we'll come towards the results. First, table topic. Monica, could you share the name of the winner for table topics round?
Yes. I shall share a certificate also.
Yes, please. Certificate
Yeah.
as well as. Wow, we are having a tie between Toastmaster Sherin and guest Malay. Can you just highlight both of them to Zoom Master Monica?
Yes. Yeah, you can see.
Yes, and take a photograph. Take a photograph of Sherin as well as Malay along with the certificate.
Yeah, can someone take, as I have shared a screen, so I couldn't take it properly.
Okay, Kunal, would you be able to do that? Thank you so much. Monica, could you highlight Malay and Sherin?
Yes. Just one.
Congratulations to the winners. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Malay as well as Sherin. Great job done.
Here also there is a tie. Normally
Yeah.
we have seen it in matches.
Yes, there is a tie this time. Is the photograph taken, Toastmaster Kunal?
Yeah, it's done.
Okay.
All right. Now the best auxiliary player, the winner of the best auxiliary player, Toastmaster Monica. Can you tell us? Fantastic. It is Toastmaster Monica herself. Congratulations, Monica, for this win.
Thank you.
The pick is done. You can move on.
Is done? Okay. And now we come down to the best role player of the day. Toastmaster Nikita. Congratulations, Nikita. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Most welcome. Fantastic. And I just have fantastic. Can we have a picture, please? Oh, wow.
It's done. Thanks, Nikita.
Thank you.
Great.
Okay.
I see that Rohini has joined us back again. Welcome back, Rohini. Could you switch on your audio and video and let us know how you found this meeting and how you came to know about Toastmasters? Rohini? Are you there, guest Rohini?
I think she is not there.
She is there, but I think there must be some disturbance with audio and video. Yes, Malay, we will be sharing the photograph with you. Kindly share your number if it is possible in the chat. And Monica, could you just take down the number so that you can share the photograph with our Toastmaster Malay? Could you share it in the chat, Toastmaster?
Phone number?
Your phone number so that we can share
Okay.
the certificate with you. It will definitely be done. Thank you so much. With this, I declare the meeting 70 of Speakers Community Toastmasters Club a close.